The holographic projection flickered to life in Earth's primary defense command center. The image of Zorathian High Commander Zinter stood tall and imposing, his contemptuous sneer unmistakable. He declared humanity's inferiority and the impending conquest with a chilling confidence. Around him, the alien fleet hung ominously in the sky, casting shadows over the cities below. Jack Thompson, an Australian astronaut with a decorated military background, watched the broadcast intently. The arrogance of the Zorathians ignited a deep-seated resolve within him. He understood the gravity of the situation. Earth's survival depended on their response. His connection to Earth and its people drove him to take action. "Jack, you're the best strategist we've got," General Marcus Sinclair said, breaking the tense silence. Sinclair, a seasoned Canadian military leader, exuded calm authority. "If anyone can figure out their weaknesses, it's you." Dr. Evelyn Carter, a brilliant British scientist specializing in xenobiology, stood beside Sinclair. Her eyes conveyed a mixture of urgency and determination. "This isn't just about strategy, Jack. It's about our survival. We need you to lead this mission." Jack's hesitation was palpable. Memories of a failed mission, where he lost his entire team, haunted him. The weight of responsibility felt like a heavy burden. However, Dr. Carter's unwavering belief in him rekindled his sense of duty. "What's the plan?" Jack finally asked, his voice steady. "We've managed to capture a Zorathian scout ship," General Sinclair explained. "Your mission is to infiltrate their mothership and gather crucial intelligence on their weaknesses. This is a covert operation. You and your team will need to navigate through their defenses undetected." The command center buzzed with activity as preparations for the mission intensified. Jack's team, comprised of elite soldiers and technical experts, gathered around a detailed holographic map of the Zorathian mothership. Each member understood the high stakes and their critical roles. As they boarded the captured scout ship, Jack's mind raced with strategies. He knew the success of this mission hinged on precision and coordination. The ship's sleek design and alien technology were both awe-inspiring and intimidating. The journey to the mothership was tense. Jack's team remained silent, their expressions steeled with determination. Upon reaching the colossal vessel, the scout ship docked under heavy scrutiny. The team held their breath, hoping their disguise would hold. Once inside, the team quickly realized the enormity of their task. The Zorathian mothership was a labyrinth of metallic corridors and glowing symbols. Jack led the way, his military training guiding their every move. They encountered numerous patrols and sophisticated security systems, each one a potential threat to their mission. Their journey took an unexpected turn when they encountered Zarlok, a Zorathian scientist disillusioned with his empire's arrogance and cruelty. Zarlok offered his assistance, providing critical information about the mothership's layout and security protocols. His knowledge proved invaluable as they navigated deeper into enemy territory. "You humans are more resourceful than we gave you credit for," Zarlok admitted. "Perhaps together, we can bring down this empire." Jack nodded. "We don't have much time. Lead the way." As they approached the central control room, the team faced their greatest challenge yet. The room was heavily guarded, and a direct assault would be suicidal. Jack devised a daring plan to create a distraction, allowing Dr. Carter to upload a virus into the ship's systems. "Hold the line. We're almost there," Jack shouted, rallying his team. The ensuing battle was fierce and chaotic. Jack's strategic brilliance shone through as he outmaneuvered the Zorathian soldiers. Despite the chaos, the team managed to hold their ground long enough for Dr. Carter to complete her task. "The virus is in," Dr. Carter announced, her voice strained with effort. "Their systems are going down." The mothership systems began to fail, causing widespread panic among the Zorathians. Jack retrieved crucial data on their weaknesses, a significant victory for humanity. However, the cost was high. The team suffered casualties, and Dr. Carter was gravely injured. As they fought their way back to the scout ship, they were cornered by a formidable Zorathian commander. In a surprising twist, Zarlok sacrificed himself to cover their escape, solidifying his defection and providing a moment of poignant sacrifice. The Zorathian scout ship slipped silently into the docking bay of the mammoth mothership. Jack Thompson, leading the team, felt a rush of adrenaline as the hatch hissed open. Every move they made had to be precise. Failure was not an option. The team advanced through dimly lit corridors, their footsteps muffled by the alien metal beneath their boots. The air was heavy with the scent of something unfamiliar, a mix of chemicals and ozone. Jack's senses were on high alert. The interior of the Zorathian vessel was a maze of intersecting passageways, illuminated by the eerie glow of symbols they couldn't decipher. "Stay close," Jack whispered, his voice barely audible. The team, composed of elite soldiers and specialists, nodded in silent agreement. Each member knew their role, their trust in Jack unshaken. As they moved deeper into the ship, Dr. Evelyn Carter paused to examine a control panel. "This tech is remarkable," she murmured, her fingers dancing over the controls. She accessed a map of the ship's layout, her expertise invaluable in navigating the labyrinthine vessel. "Lead the way, Dr. Carter," Jack urged, keeping an eye on the surroundings. His military instincts told him danger was never far off. They continued, their path illuminated by the occasional pulse of alien lights. Their journey took an unexpected turn when they stumbled upon Zarlok, a Zorathian scientist with a troubled expression. His eyes widened in surprise, then softened with a hint of relief. "You must be the humans," he said, his voice low and cautious. Jack stepped forward, his weapon lowered but ready. "And you are?" "Zarlok," he replied, glancing around nervously. "I can help you. I don't believe in the Zorathian Empire's methods. They underestimate you, and that will be their downfall." Jack weighed the options quickly. Trust was a scarce commodity, but they needed allies. "What do you know about their defenses?" Zarlok gestured for them to follow. "I'll show you. But we must move quickly." With Zarlok's guidance, the team maneuvered through the ship with newfound efficiency. They reached a heavily guarded corridor leading to the central control room. The sight was daunting. Zorathian soldiers stood vigilant, their weapons gleaming ominously. "We need a distraction," Jack said, formulating a plan. "Dr. Carter, you and Zarlok will head to the control room once we draw them away. Upload the virus and gather any intelligence you can." "Understood," Dr. Carter affirmed, her determination unwavering. Jack and his soldiers prepared for the diversion. They positioned themselves strategically, ready to engage the guards. On Jack's signal, they launched their attack, a blend of precision and ferocity. Blaster fire erupted, the sound echoing through the corridor. "Go, now!" Jack shouted, giving Dr. Carter and Zarlok the window they needed. As the battle raged, Dr. Carter and Zarlok slipped into the control room. The room was a marvel of alien engineering, with consoles and displays that defied Earth's understanding. Dr. Carter's hands moved swiftly, uploading the virus while Zarlok accessed the Zorathian databases. Outside, Jack and his team held their ground. The Zorathian soldiers were formidable, but Jack's strategic mind and his team's training gave them an edge. He fought with a calculated intensity, each move designed to buy more time. "The virus is in," Dr. Carter's voice crackled over the comm, "their systems are destabilizing." Jack felt a surge of relief. "Good work. Extract and rendezvous at the ship." As they began their retreat, the ship's alarms blared, and the lights flickered erratically. The Zorathian mothership was in chaos, its systems failing. Jack's team moved quickly, but not without losses. The gravity of their mission weighed heavily on him. Reaching the docking bay, they encountered the Zorathian commander, a towering figure of menace. Before Jack could react, Zarlok stepped forward. "I'll handle this," he said, determination etched on his face. Zarlok engaged the commander, creating an opportunity for the team to escape. His sacrifice was immediate and brutal, the sound of the struggle haunting as they boarded the scout ship. Jack's mind raced as they departed the mothership, the data they had acquired a beacon of hope for Earth. The mission had succeeded, but the cost was high. Dr. Carter's injuries and the loss of comrades left a somber note. The scout ship touched down on Earth, and Jack Thompson disembarked with a sense of urgency. The data drive in his hand contained the critical information needed to mount an effective defense against the Zorathians. He moved quickly through the bustling command center, every step driven by the weight of his mission. General Marcus Sinclair met him at the entrance, his expression a mixture of relief and resolve. "What did you find?" Sinclair asked, his voice steady. Jack handed over the data drive. "Everything we need to know about their defenses and command structure. Dr. Carter is analyzing it now. We need to prepare for their retaliation." Sinclair nodded. "We have a narrow window. Let's make the most of it." In the lab, Dr. Evelyn Carter was already hard at work, her injuries not deterring her relentless focus. She and a team of scientists pored over the data, decrypting and interpreting the Zorathian technology. The atmosphere was charged with a sense of purpose, each discovery bringing them closer to understanding their enemy. Jack joined the strategic planning team, his military experience invaluable in shaping their response. "We need to exploit their weaknesses," he said, pointing to the holographic display of the mothership. "Their central command is vulnerable to coordinated strikes. We can disable their fleet if we hit the right nodes." As plans were formulated, an urgent message came through. The Zorathian fleet was regrouping, preparing for a full-scale assault. The window for action was closing fast. Jack and his team mobilized, ready to implement their strategy. "All units, prepare for engagement," Sinclair ordered. The command center buzzed with activity as soldiers and pilots readied themselves for battle. Jack felt a familiar surge of adrenaline. This was the moment they had been preparing for. The skies above Earth darkened as the Zorathian fleet descended. Jack led a squadron of fighters, their mission to penetrate the enemy's defenses and strike at the heart of the mothership. The air was thick with the hum of engines and the distant rumble of incoming ships. As they approached the enemy fleet, Jack's voice came over the comms. "Stay focused. We need to break through their front line and target their command centers. Follow my lead." The first wave of Zorathian fighters engaged them, a barrage of laser fire lighting up the sky. Jack maneuvered his ship with precision, his experience guiding every move. His squadron followed suit, weaving through the chaos with practiced skill. In the midst of the battle, Dr. Carter sent a critical update. "We've identified the key nodes. Disabling them will disrupt their entire fleet. Uploading the coordinates now." Jack received the data on his display. "Roger that. All units, target the coordinates. Let's bring them down." The squadron pressed forward, breaking through the enemy lines. The coordinates led them to a cluster of heavily defended nodes on the mothership. Jack's team coordinated their attack, each fighter targeting a specific node. The combined assault was precise and devastating. Explosions erupted across the mothership as the nodes were disabled, sending shockwaves through the enemy fleet. The Zorathian ships faltered, their formation breaking apart. Jack's squadron pressed the advantage, their strikes crippling the enemy's ability to respond. Back on the ground, General Sinclair monitored the battle with intense focus. "They're faltering. Keep the pressure on. We're turning the tide." Jack's fighter strafed a cluster of Zorathian ships, his targeting systems locking onto the critical points. "We've got them on the run. Keep pushing." The coordinated strikes took their toll. The Zorathian fleet began to retreat, their once formidable presence now a disorganized scramble. Jack's squadron regrouped, ready to deliver the final blow. Suddenly, a massive energy surge emanated from the mothership, knocking out systems and communications. Jack's ship shuddered under the impact. "What the hell was that?" Dr. Carter's voice crackled through the comms. "They're activating a last resort weapon. It's a self-destruct mechanism. We need to get clear, now." Jack's squadron broke formation, racing to escape the impending explosion. The mothership began to disintegrate, fragments of the colossal vessel hurtling through space. Jack pushed his ship to its limits, narrowly avoiding debris. The mothership's destruction was cataclysmic. A blinding flash lit up the sky as it imploded, the shockwave rocking the Earth below. Jack's squadron regrouped at a safe distance, their ships battered but intact. As the dust settled, the comms came alive with cheers and shouts of triumph. Jack exhaled, the weight of their victory sinking in. They had faced the enemy head-on and emerged victorious. Back on Earth, Jack Thompson stood in the bustling command center, surrounded by screens displaying the aftermath of their recent victory. The data drive he had retrieved lay on the table, its contents already being analyzed by Dr. Evelyn Carter and her team. Despite their success, Jack knew the battle was far from over. General Marcus Sinclair entered the room, his expression grim but resolute. "We've bought ourselves some time, Jack. But the Zorathians will regroup. We need a new strategy, and fast." Jack nodded. "We have the data on their vulnerabilities. We need to use it to fortify our defenses and prepare for their next move." Dr. Carter, despite her injuries, was already coordinating with the tech team. "The information we've gathered reveals several critical weaknesses in their command structure. We can exploit these to disrupt their chain of command and prevent a coordinated assault." The room was filled with a sense of urgency as plans were drawn up. Engineers and scientists worked tirelessly to upgrade Earth's defense systems, using the insights gained from the Zorathian technology. Soldiers drilled relentlessly, preparing for the inevitable clash. Jack's squadron, having barely recovered from the previous battle, was back in the air, running simulations and honing their skills. The sky was a flurry of activity as fighters practiced maneuvers and refined their tactics. Meanwhile, diplomatic channels buzzed with activity as Earth reached out to potential allies. Messages were sent to other worlds that had suffered under Zorathian rule, seeking to build a coalition against the common enemy. Amidst the preparations, a transmission was intercepted from the Zorathian fleet. Their new commander, ruthless and cunning, declared their intent to crush Earth's resistance once and for all. The message was a stark reminder of the stakes they faced. Jack gathered his team for a briefing. "We know they're coming. We know their tactics. We need to be ready to counter every move they make. Our survival depends on it." The team nodded, their resolve unshaken. Each member had faced their own trials and emerged stronger. They were ready to stand together against the impending threat. As the Zorathian fleet approached, Earth's defenses were activated. Satellites armed with advanced weaponry, ground-based missile systems, and a network of fighters stood ready to intercept the enemy. The battle began with a coordinated assault from the Zorathians, their ships darkening the sky. Earth's defenses responded with a barrage of firepower, lighting up the night in a deadly display. Jack led his squadron into the fray, their ships cutting through the enemy lines with precision. In the command center, General Sinclair monitored the battle, issuing orders and adjusting tactics in real time. Dr. Carter fed him critical data, her insights helping to anticipate the enemy's moves. Jack's voice crackled over the comms. "We've identified their flagship. If we can take it out, we can cripple their command structure. All units, focus fire on the flagship." The squadron converged on the flagship, dodging enemy fire and weaving through the chaos. Jack's ship led the charge, his targeting systems locking onto the flagship's weak points. As they launched their assault, the flagship's defenses crumbled under the combined might of Earth's forces. Explosions rocked the enemy vessel, and with a final, devastating strike, the flagship was destroyed. The Zorathian fleet, now leaderless and disorganized, began to retreat. Earth's forces pursued them, ensuring they were driven back beyond the solar system. The victory was hard-won, but it was decisive. In the aftermath, the command center erupted in cheers. Jack's squadron returned to Earth, greeted as heroes. General Sinclair commended them for their bravery and strategic brilliance. Dr. Carter's analysis had been pivotal, and her contributions were celebrated. As the celebrations began, Jack took a moment to reflect. The victory was significant, but the threat was not entirely eliminated. The Zorathians would undoubtedly regroup and return, but Earth had shown its resilience and capacity to fight back.